You've probably heard a million times that you need to eat protein for muscle growth, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what really happens to that protein shake or that steak after you eat it? Well, let me tell you, the journey it takes inside your body is way more complex and honestly, way more fascinating than you might think. You know, with other nutrients, it's pretty straightforward. We eat carbs, we get a quick energy boost. We eat too much fat, well, that gets stored. Simple. But protein? Protein is the odd one out. Our bodies can't just pack it away for later. So what in the world happens when you have more than you need right now? That's the big mystery we're going to solve today. And this all leads us to what I like to call the protein storage problem. Because unlike its macronutrient buddies, our body has this really unique challenge when it comes to the building blocks of protein. See, your body is an absolute pro at storing fuel from carbs and fats. It just tucks it away as glycogen or body fat for a rainy day. But amino acids, the little guys that make up protein, are a totally different story. There's no warehouse for them, no storage unit. It's a very strict use it or lose it situation, which means your body has to get incredibly creative. So if there's no storage unit, where do these amino acids actually go? Well, they float around in what scientists call the amino acid pool. The best way to think about it is like a 24/7 construction supply depot for your body. It's got about 90 to 100 grams of these amino acids just ready to go, available at a moment's notice for any repair job, whether it's building new muscle or making crucial hormones. But get this, and this is the part that just blows my mind. The protein you eat is just a tiny drop in the bucket compared to what your body is already dealing with. Let's take a look at its amazing internal recycling system. This whole process has a name, protein turnover, and it's not a one-time thing, it's happening constantly. Right now, your body is busy breaking down old, worn-out proteins and salvaging their parts to build new, better ones. It's basically the ultimate biological recycling program. And the sheer scale of this it's just wild. Your body recycles somewhere between 300 and 400 grams of its own protein every single day. To put that into perspective, that's like 3 or 4 times more than the average person even eats. The protein on your plate isn't building you from scratch. It's just topping off this massive internal operation. So here's the crucial question. What happens when an amino acid isn't needed for building something, and your body decides, okay, let's use this for energy? Well, this is where our story takes a really dramatic turn, because burning protein for fuel creates let's just say, a very toxic problem. Okay, so every amino acid has 2 key parts, a carbon structure, which is useful, and a nitrogen group. To get to the energy in the carbon part, your body has to snip off that nitrogen first. The problem is, as soon as that nitrogen is free, it forms ammonia. And ammonia is highly toxic, especially to your brain. So how does your body handle this dangerous stuff? With a beautiful 4-step process. First up is transamination. Think of it like a safe handoff, where the nitrogen is passed to a special carrier molecule. This creates something called glutamate, which acts like a garbage truck, driving around and collecting all the loose nitrogen. Then that truck drives to the liver, where in a very controlled environment, it unloads the nitrogen as ammonia. And then instantly, the liver's incredible urea cycle converts that toxic ammonia into harmless urea, which you can, get rid of safely. And here's the really cool part, the aha moment. You ever had a blood test to check your liver function? Well, the enzymes they look for, ALT and AST, are the exact same enzymes that do step 1 of this process. If your liver is damaged, these enzymes leak out into your blood, which is a big red flag to your doctor that this critical detox system might be in trouble. And even before it gets to the liver, your body is super clever about moving nitrogen around safely. In most of your tissues, it gets packaged up as glutamine. In your muscles, it travels as alanine. You can think of these as biological armored cars, making sure that toxic ammonia never gets a chance to roam free in your bloodstream. Okay, so we've safely dealt with the toxic nitrogen. Phew. Now what about the good stuff, the useful part that's left over? This is where your protein finally gets turned into power. What's left behind after you strip off the nitrogen is called the carbon skeleton. And this is the valuable, energy-rich part of the amino acid that your body can finally put to good use. Now, this carbon skeleton basically has 2 possible fates. If it's what we call glucogenic, your body can turn it into glucose. That's premium fuel for your brain and muscles. If it's ketogenic, it can be turned into things like ketone bodies, or, and here it is, the answer to our very first question, it can be used to make fat for storage. So, yes, if you eat way too much protein, your body can and will turn it into fat. This entire system is just a masterpiece of biological engineering, right? But it's so incredibly complex that sometimes a tiny genetic error can cause one of these steps to fail. And when that happens, the consequences can be really serious. These conditions are known as inborn errors of amino acid metabolism. And while they're rare, they give us this dramatic window into just how absolutely critical every single one of these microscopic chemical reactions really is. Take, for example, a condition called PKU. Here, the body can't process a specific amino acid, phenylalanine. If it's not managed with a super strict diet, it can build up and cause brain damage. Or consider albinism. That's caused by an inability to properly process the amino acid tyrosine, which leads to a lack of pigment. It just goes to show how one broken link in this long chain can have a huge impact. Just to give you a sense of scale, a condition like cystinuria, where a faulty amino acid transporter leads to painful kidney stones, affects about 1 in 7,000 people. Now, that might sound rare, but it highlights how a single glitch in this incredibly complex system can still affect thousands and thousands of lives. So the next time you eat a meal, just take a second to appreciate the incredible, invisible journey that food is about to take. Your body is a master chemist, flawlessly performing these reactions trillions of times a day. It manages this dynamic pool of resources, recycles more material than you even consume, and turns a potential toxin into fuel. It's a silent, constant symphony of chemistry that keeps us all going. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets are hidden inside our own biology, just waiting for us to discover?